Hello, lovelies. It's G here from Golden Thread Tarot, and I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I hope this message is finding you blessed and full of abundance. I'm sorry if my throat sounds kind of scratchy. I was burning an incense, and the incense did not agree agree with me, so my throat might sound a little scratchy. But I apologize. It's getting better as it's like clearing. So, all right, let's get into it. So there is something, okay, that is coming in that you guys have been really excited about. Page of Pentacles. It's coming in, okay? It is a divine gift, Ace of Pentacles, okay? That you have been really waiting for. That you've been putting in the work, you've been doing the manifestations, you've been doing the shadow work and all of that, right? So you're not just sitting there waiting, but you've been waiting for, right? Okay, but this three of I almost said Three of Swords. This Three of Wands is also playing double duty. So not only is this you sitting here waiting for this to come in and finally it's coming in, right? But also other people from the outside have been waiting and have been watching and have been anticipating this blessing coming in for you. And I know that a lot of you probably don't want to hear this because you're like, finally, I've gotten this. I clearly deserve it. Spirit's blessing me with it, right? And for a lot of you, Ten of Cups, it's going to make you so happy. You know, it's a really big blessing, something that's adding to a really, like, really going to have you feeling high, right? Have you feeling that, wow, like my manifestations are coming together, my life or my relationships or my family or whatever it is, my business, whatever it is, a little less career-based, but whatever it is, it's been coming in. It's going to make you feel at the end of the day, it's going to make you feel so, it's going to make your heart chakra sing. It's going to make you feel like your cups are overflowing, like you're so satisfied, you're so happy. It's giving you this bright vision for the future, and you're like, finally. If you've been dealing with a lot of tower moments, if you've been dealing with a lot of shadow work, if you've been dealing with a lot of betrayals, a lot of karma and a lot of things like this, you're finally like, thank you, God. And it doesn't mean that there haven't been good things and blessings, but this is a big blessing that's finally coming in for you, right? That's showing up now. And I know a lot of you don't want to hear this, right? However, Spirit is giving you a little heads up that you are going to have to defend this blessing, okay? And for some of you, it is going to be a lover, okay? A lover, a friend, no, not lover, like a friend, a spouse. Why I keep saying that? Maybe this person will start off like a friend and become a lover, or that kind of issue, because I kept trying to say spouse, but I kept saying friend instead. So you might have some people in your life that are like, I would not take this beyond friendship. I would not date that person. I would not deal with that if I was you. I would not do this. I would not. Now, there are some times that we can get very smitten with people, and we can get lovesick, and we can get very infatuated with people, and we can, we can look over warning signs, right? But it's not giving me that, wow, these people really want you to pay attention to the red flags in this other person, or pay attention to the warning signs, or saying, hey, no, I would leave that relationship if I. It's that kind of energy that I have here with this. Is this kind of, you are going to have to defend this. You are going to have to stand 10 toes down in this, and you are going to have to say no, right? I can follow my own advice. I can do this. I can work this out, right? I don't always need your advice. I'm hearing unsolicited advice. This is like you going around and you being like, oh, I'm so in love and I'm so happy and yada, yada, yada. Maybe this is a friend or maybe this is a family member. Y'all are spending too much time together. Y'all are always up each other's asses, or you're always up each other's behinds. Like, yeah, it's codependent. It's toxic. It's this. It's that. This person could have glasses. So I don't know why I'm suddenly just like, well, actually, did you know that your nose is deep ass brown? Okay, you are a shade of green, and you are far too up my ass. And it might not even come off that way for some people, right? It might really come off, this could be a parent or this could be friends coming off very kind of like, well, we're just, I'm really worried about you. And to this person, it might seem like a legitimate concern, right? Let's get more into it though. Okay, let's get more into it. Yeah, wow, okay. That's so interesting because this is because honestly, this reading came off the tail end of a other reading that I just, but I kind of felt like, okay, there's another reading in these cards, and these cards were the cards that started off these four cards that I have out here, in this reading. So that's funny that they came right back out together like that. They were together like this too, right? So there's a lot of healing happening, right? There's a lot of healing and there's a lot of grounding energy. In that reading, we were talking about, that you were taught to comply, right? That you were taught to comply. You were taught toxic forms of love. That you were taught toxic forms of friendship. And kind of going through the realization. And I feel like in this energy, it'll be kind of in your past. It'll be things, shadow work that you've already done. And this kind of energy at the end of that, we kind of did like a pull on what's coming next. And at the end, this was a big energy that came out, which was healing, acknowledgement. There was a lot of, I used the kind of metaphor of like, you plant a seed and until it sprouts above the surface, you don't see all the work that it's doing to germinate, to grow its roots, to build its healthy foundation, right? Because at the end of the day, those roots are what gonna be, that are what is going to support all of the rest of the growth for this plant in its life, right? But it takes a lot of work beneath the surface before the sprout finally comes up and you can see that it actually took and that it's actually been working the whole time. So that was this kind of energy. Like there was so much growth energy finally grounding for you, where all this healing that you were doing was finally being recognized and finally being seen, right? And that it talked a lot about how in the end of that reading, it talked a lot about how soul family members were coming into your life and really good karmic relationships and good soulmate relationships were coming into your life to teach you these really valuable lessons and to propel your life forward and to grow in a really good positive way, right? That all of this is kind of coming in for you. And I did say that in that the lovers came out as well as the two of cups. So I did say that for a lot of you, it looked like a relationship was going to come blooming out of this as well. Not only friendships, that's the truth, but things are going to come. There are things that are going to come to light, right? There are things that are going to come to light when all of this starts grounding for you, particularly in a relationship. In a relationship for you, there's going to be this kind of energy of needing to stand in your new boundaries that you have created, right? Standing in these new boundaries. Why are the collective going to have to stand in these new boundaries? Wow, that Nine of Swords came out too. So Nine of Swords came out as again. Okay, this can also be against yourself. Having to put in that work to stand 10 toes down against your own fears, right? And your own anxieties and your own fears. This can also be fears and anxieties of people, places, of people, places. No, people, as in, I don't know why I want to say past lovers because who cares? But past lovers, for friends, for family members. It could kind of be, I'm getting specifically for some of you, it's family members being like, this person is taking you away from me. So for some of you, definitely there will be energy of you having to work on this, of your own shadow energy around relationships and around allowing a kind of relationship like this to come in for you with this big energy of this like 10 of cups. Like it's got a lot of potential energy coming in. You having to defend yourself against your own intrusive thoughts, against your own insecurities, against your own fears and worries based on what has happened in the past with those ex relationships, right? Right? So that might be why it's like, who cares about the past relationship? Because you could have some insecurities, you could have some triggers that you really learned from your past, right? We talk about not bringing issues from your past into your next relationship, which it takes a lot of work not to do that, especially if you have had a lot of Three of Swords or had a lot of betrayals or you've been cheated on or you've dealt with a lot of liars or a lot of narcissists or things like that. When you're doing a lot of healing, at some point you can do as much inner self-healing work yourself, right? But at some point all that healing gets put to the test when you have a new relationship come into your life, right? So either you have a person like the past and you go, no thank you, and then you have a good person come into your life and you still have to say no thank you, right, to all of those insecurities welling up inside of yourself, right? So I am getting that for some of you, I feel like it'll be both, right? For some of you it'll just be your own inner insecurities, and for some of you it will be both. Spirit saying most of you. For most of you it will be both. There will be exterior forces that are trying to come in and play on those inner insecurities. I'm hearing long distance. For some of you, this person might travel for work, or you might be the one that travels for work. So you might have friends or family members that are like, can you really trust this person? I don't, or even saying things like, man, I could never be in that kind of relationship because the person is away from me for so long. You don't even know what they're doing while they're traveling. So many people that travel for work cheat on their spouses while they're traveling, which is true. Not, well, it happens. I don't know the statistics on it, so I can't say yes or no to one side, but it is true that some people use those instances to cheat or to go outside their relationships, right? Or if they're long, or if simply it's like it has to be long distance or for a period of time. Maybe one of you gets a job which makes you have to go or leave, and maybe it's not a relationship that's so serious that you would go and sell your home, and maybe not like a spouse where you would, oh no, I'm moving with them. It's like, I really value this relationship. I really care. It's a 10 of cups relationship. I'm hearing temporary. So it could be something that pops up temporary that's really going to make you face a lot of your shadows in yourself. And also, while you're also having to fight your own demons, here comes these other people trying to stir up your demons and your doubt energy as well, right? Being like, are you sure you're okay with that? Are you sure you're okay? Are you sure you can trust that person? Are you sure about that? That kind of energy. Right, yeah. It's going to be something that requires a good amount of work, a good amount of emotional work from you, right? Yeah. It's something that you need to heal. It's something in trust, in relationships that you need to heal here. And this came out to clarify here for the three. So for some of you, it is going to be family. Okay, Ten of Pentacles can also be about family. Ten of Pentacles can also be about because Ten of Pentacles is about a generational legacy being left behind. It can also be about generational fears, generational doubts. I got cheated on. Bet you'll get cheated on too. All men are dogs. All women cheat. Yada yada yada. You can't trust them. Gold diggers. Yeah, whatever it is, right? It's that kind of energy. That's the kind of energy it's something that you and your family members have invested a lot of thought into generation after generation after generation. Okay. This could be part of the generational toxic mindsets that you're breaking out of, right? AKA the generational curses, breaking out of those things, right? Freeing yourself from, well, just because you had it doesn't mean, just because dad cheated on you doesn't mean that my man's going to cheat on me, right? Or my wife's going to, whatever, right? Just because that happened to you doesn't mean, don't put your shit off on me, right? And to this person, it could be like, I just don't want you to look stupid. I just want you to be aware. I don't want you to be naive about this. Like this could be happening, right? I'm telling you, for a lot of you, you are coming into union here with this Emperor energy, right? And it's going to require you to walk away from a lot of the ways that you used to view people, relationships, yourself in relationships. It's really going to ask you to really, walk away from a lot of that. Yeah, you're really going to have to work on that heart chakra. You're really going to have to work on that acceptance and that love energy inside yourself. You're really going to have to work on that kind of energy of unconditional love, right? That's why they were talking about that you were taught to comply. These could be people. These could be some of the people that taught you to comply. Like, say that you had that kind of energy, like we were talking about, where you had, where you got a lot of those generational toxic mindsets from family members, and you were taught to think, they taught you to think, I know this, I know more than you, so you should listen and comply to what I say, right? I would not deal with that. I would not be okay with that, so you shouldn't be either. Ooh, that's got a lot of power there for somebody. I feel that. Like I literally feel like I literally feel like your parents or your something in it. Like I feel like I'm connected to their throat chakra. Like they're literally shoop. You might hear that exact phrase, that kind of thing. Not in those words, but it's like, I just don't want you to look stupid. That kind of energy where it's like, you should fear, you should doubt. They want to project their own fears and their own doubts onto you. You should fear, you should doubt. There's no way this person wants to be there for you or take care of you or support you like they say they do. That kind of energy. Yeah, ooh. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, it's going to require you to really step back into this energy and really find the strength inside of yourself to be like, no, I can recognize this for the blessing that it is, right? And then for some of you, I don't know what. No, Spirit doesn't want me to say that. Okay. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. This blessing. Let's talk about this blessing. Yeah, it's for some of you, it is going to be this kind of energy of, you really having to really overcome, like, excuse me, like everything being all good and, everything. And then other people just kind of being like, shouldn't you have fears? Shouldn't you have doubts? Shouldn't you feel this way? Shouldn't you feel that way? Do you really trust this person? Can you really trust this person? Like, can you really do that? Maybe, like I said, like with the long distance thing, maybe this person is like, I really want you to move out here with me, or I really want you to come with me, or maybe not right away at first. For some of you, yes, and then for some of you, this person might be like, I want us to be together. I have set up enough out here to where you can come out here, and it's okay that you're still looking for a job, or it's okay, like I'll help you find stuff, like we'll have each other, it'll be okay. And you might have that kind of, I have this fear of losing you energy, right? That kind of pops up in your life being like, no, maybe you shouldn't leave. You should be afraid to go out there because this person's actually really afraid of you leaving, right? So they're wanting to put that fear of leaving or of trusting into you because they don't trust, they don't fear. Yeah, this is going to be like a for some of y'all, this could be a mother, or this could be a father. That Emperor and the Empress energy came out. It's giving me really strong, like, authoritative figure, like mother, father energy, like, yeah, or just somebody you give a lot of authority to. But I also feel like this is going to be a very significant relationship for you. With this Judgment energy coming out here, kind of, you might have to really pass. Yeah, you might really have to pass judgment on this situation, or you might have, like I said, you might have these people coming in, passing this judgment, judging this blessing. Like, there's no way. There's no way they're that perfect. There's no way they really care about you the way they say they do. Ooh. Ooh, I don't, that's going to hurt. Because for a lot of you, you are going to realize that this person is putting this fear inside of you. They don't love you as much as they say you do. They're not going to be there for you as much as they say they are. And it's really going to hurt you to realize, it's like, damn, like Spirit I'm hearing compassion. Spirit is telling you this beforehand because they want you to come at this you still need to do what you need to do. Follow your instincts, right? Don't let these people color how you feel about this. However, for a lot of you, it's really going to hurt you for this person to be like, there's no way this person loves you the way they say they do. And your reaction is kind of like, what do you think, I'm unlovable? What do you think, a good man or a good woman can't love me? What do you think, I can't have a positive relationship? And Spirit's wanting you to know that this is really this person's own pain. It's really their own pain, their own heartbreak. And for a lot of them, it's not like it's not like they're trying to be evil about it. It's subconsciously, they feel like, oh, I didn't never found love, or my love got taken away from me, so it'll probably happen to you too. And it's kind of like it's like this person trying to speak this self-fulfilling prophecy onto you so that they feel better about the heartbreak, or about them not finding love the way that you have. Ooh. Ooh. Toxic generational mindsets. Woo. That's heavy. Yeah, and I feel like you're gonna feel very impassioned about this. Like, I feel like it could start a fight here. You could be like, what is seriously your effing problem? Like, this person has been there for me. They have done this for me. I'm a grown person. I'm not stupid. I know what I'm doing. What's your issue? What's your problem? And, something like that might fly. This person is feeling mad. They're feeling triggered. They're feeling hurt. They're feeling abandoned. Something like that. Like, there's no effing way that person is real or they love you. There's no way that somebody loves you that much. I feel that. Oh, I feel that so bad. Where it's just gonna be like, especially if this person is like a parent or like a guardian or like somebody that you've really looked up to for a long time. You're gonna be like, really? Like, you really don't think love is possible for me? It's not about you, and that's what Spirit wants to say now. That's why that's why Spirit is coming forward to give you this message, so that you will have time to process and find compassion in your heart, so that you will have time to think on this, to process it, and when it comes up, don't go into it expecting it, right? But when it comes up, think about this reading coming up. Think about this reading. Some of you might even, when it comes up, you might be guided to just be like, whatever, we'll talk later. And then you come back to this reading, right? You might be guided to come back and find this reading, or you might be guided to find it right after you have this conversation with this person. And if so, I'm so sorry. I know that it hurt. I'm so sorry. It was not this person's intention to hurt you as bad as they did. It wasn't. It's their own fucked up trauma inside of them. It's their own shit. And I can hear some of you saying, so what? That's not an excuse for that person to act like that to me. It's not. It's not. This person is not at all. Their pain, their hurt is not at all a justification for how they're handling this situation. But it is an opportunity for you to choose more compassion than they're giving you. To still have boundaries, to still put this person in their place, but to do it in a compassionate, loving way. Like, mom, dad, sister, brother, uncle, whoever this is for, because for a lot of you, or somebody that's so close they feel like a sister, or somebody that's so close they feel like a brother, something like that, where it's just like, look, I'm sorry that it didn't work out for you, but I'm trying really hard to make it work out for me. And it would be a lot easier if I had your love, your acceptance, your help, instead of pushing me away and making me feel like I can't come to you if I do need to talk to you, or I can't come to you if I do need your help. That's what you're setting up here. You're setting up me feeling like I can't trust you and like I can't come to you even if I do need help. Yeah, I'm getting it for a lot of you. It might cause some fight that makes you feel like you need to completely cut contact with this person. Like, I feel so much that you might just be like, that's it. Like, that's the last straw. Like, that's it. That's the last straw. After everything I've done and after everything it's been done, I'm just, I feel some of you really being like, that's it. Like, I'm not talking to this person anymore, or I'm cutting them off for a long time. Like, I feel like that could possibly happen. And Spirit is saying, in the long run, if you need to take a few days or you need to take a few weeks and just tell this person, like, hey, I need some time because what you said really hurt me, take the time that you need to heal. But Spirit is really coming forward to tell you, in the long run, it's gonna mess you up to cut. It's gonna not mess you, like, it's gonna, you personally, like, it's gonna hurt your feelings in the end that you cut this person off. So Spirit is telling you it is going to be for your highest good to handle no matter how this person comes out of it, to try to handle it as much as you can in compassion and love and understanding, to have your boundaries, to tell that person, I'm not okay with you trying to mess up my relationships. I'm not okay with this mindset. I do not subscribe to this. I don't think the same way that you did. I would really like it if you respected my relationship. I need you to respect my relationship. You might not approve of it, but I'm not asking for your approval, right? I'm asking you to still support me and love me and be there for me, even if I'm doing something that you don't approve of, even if I'm doing something that you wouldn't do. I hope that helped y'all, because I feel it. I feel it transmuting. I feel the energy lifting. Let that energy. Ooh, the wind is blowing. It's blowing in like this breeze past me right now. And I'm like, yeah. Ooh, your spirit guides are here. So bad. Trying to elevate this situation here. Yeah. And it might take a while for this person to come around. That's their issue. That's their business, and you could feel like, damn, I fought so hard for this, and here I finally am, just so happy. And here it is. It feels like the very people or the very person in your life that should be the happiest for you is too busy with their own trauma to be happy for you. and you're like, this selfish person is just, Emperor. It's a control issue for this person, honestly. It's a control issue for this person, honestly. Yeah. But you're gonna find this. This is gonna come to light, and it might really shine out. Oh my gosh! What the heck was that? I don't know. Something just popped so loud. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but I just got so scared. As I was just saying, it might come to a surprise. It might be a surprise. You might literally be like, oh, like, I can't believe this person said that to me. I can't believe this person said this about this. What the hell is this person's problem? Oh, did you guys see how hard but yeah, this relationship is gonna shine the light in a lot of shadows in your other relationships, as well as your own particular shadows around relationships. Okay? And if you are the type of person that is battling over trust issues in relationships because of parent wounds or mother father wounds, it really is going to kind of do like a double time on you, where this relationship shines a big bright light on this huge shadow of how this person, or how the way you were raised, or how this person's thought process has really affected your relationships, right? And it's going to shine a big old fat light all off in the shadowy little crevices of thing. And it's gonna be a big learning experience. It's gonna be a big, like, let me tell you about this experience, right? But it is an opportunity for a new thought process and a new way of being to come to the surface. It is an opportunity for growth, unless an opportunity to walk away from a lot of these toxic mindsets. And for some of you, you might have to come to the realization that you and these other people from the past are just going to have to agree to disagree, because it's that's why this is coming up, right? That's why this is coming up for this person, right? Your successful relationship, or your things that you're dealing with, are shining a light on, and how bright you're shining, and how happy you are, and how in a star energy you are, is shining a light on this person's inadequacies, is shining a light on how this person is not in the 10 of cups, right? It's shining a light on all this person's, like, well, damn, like, I've been telling myself the whole time that a love like that doesn't exist. Ooh, I just heard that Sade. This is no ordinary love. No ordinary love. Yeah. Right? It might be shining a big old light, a big giant spotlight on this person, and how maybe they don't have that type of love. Even if they are in a relationship, maybe their relationship doesn't feel like that. Maybe their marriage doesn't feel like that. Maybe their boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever they are, their partner doesn't feel like that. Maybe they don't feel like that, and maybe it's going to shine a lot more light on their own internal actions that really led them to being single, or led them to being in the spot where they are now. The fact that they're going to see that you're making different choices is going to shine a bright light on the fact that they had the opportunity to make those same different choices, but yet they chose a different path that led them to a result that in the end they're really not that happy with, right? But it's not your responsibility to keep that, to allow that person to say this or do this out of pity, because you realize, like, damn, my relationship is making this person feel insecure about their relationship, or their lack of a relationship. My happiness, my love, it's not about you. So that's what Spirit is trying to say. Like, you'll have your own issues that are going to be triggered about you in this relationship. And on top of that, it's going to be like, I'm already dealing with my own shit. The last thing I need to do is for you to come bopping in and projecting your own bullshit that my relationship is bringing up. Like, I don't need that. But Spirit, yes, it is not your responsibility to deal with that. I would just kind of send that energy back to that person, right? Don't fight over it. Don't blow up over it. Don't cut this person out of your life over it. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say don't, because I don't know. Like, some of y'all are really going to deal with some really low vibrational shit. And in that situation, I just heard for some of y'all might do with a friend, or somebody trying to sleep with your man or sleep with your partner. cut it the fuck out. Okay? Cut it out. Get out. But in other situations, for the majority of you, right? For the majority of you, it is going to be just these people being like, I wouldn't deal with that in my relationship. And you might have that tendency to rise up inside you to go, I wouldn't deal with your relationship that you're in because it's a piece of shit. You know, that it might kind of come up to be like, you know, it might be a kind of situation. Yeah, so be careful. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to have like people that you confess or that you can confide in, but be careful what about your relationship you share with other people, right? Don't be where you're like running and telling your family and this other stuff, like every single little bad thing or every single little, you know, like, oh, he did this and it made me feel like this and yada yada yada. And for you, y'all might come together, y'all might talk it out, y'all might make it up, but then all your family hears is, oh, we made it up, don't worry. Oh, we talked about it, don't worry. But that worry or that negativity is still there for them because they weren't there working it out. They're not in the relationship. So be careful about sharing too much of your arguments or the negative things that are happening in your relationship. I'm not saying don't share any negative things, right? Because then I've been in that situation where it's like people thought I was in a great relationship and then the relationship ended and then I started being honest about how shitty that other person was treating me and people were like, what? But so find that balance. Find the balance. Find the balance of understanding that sometimes you just need to keep it to yourself. And sometimes you need to write it out in a journal. Sometimes you need to get it out in other ways besides always sharing it, always going to the brunch with your friends and being like, oh, girl, he said this and he did this and yada, yada, yada. And then when you come back next week and you're like, oh, it's all good. It's all fine. I was off of my feelings. We worked it out. You know, excuse me. Be careful. Yeah. Have those proper boundaries, right? Have those proper boundaries in your life with yourself, with your own tendencies, with your own fears, as well as not allowing other people to project their fears and their insecurities around relationships onto you as well, right? Yeah. Because this right here has really slowed you down. And some of you might deal with some anger, right? And some of you might, I'm also hearing that some of you might really deal with some anger, not only from other people, but within yourself, being like, when this comes up, when this light starts shining, you might be like, dang, like this person really set me up to be in a lot of toxic relationships. Like, excuse me, because you always told me that I can't trust or that I shouldn't, or that they're always and yada, yada, yada. And, you know, or you taught me in the way of showing me that you dealt with a toxic relationship. So in my mind, I think that toxicity in the relationship that I saw with my parents or with people that I was raised around was normalized, you know. And you might really kind of realize like, dang, this really slowed me down. But and they, you know, they could also be slowing you down. They could also, you know, be saying, hey, you need to slow down. Hey, you don't need to, yeah, whatever they're saying, you know. Hey, you don't need to move in together. Hey, you don't need to do that. Hey, you don't need to change, you know. I thought I raised you better than to change your whole life for a man. That kind of energy or something like that, where it's like, I'm just moving. I'm just moving. I'm just making time for a person in my life. I'm also hearing like where, like I said, a person might have something to say about how much time you're giving or you're investing in this relationship, you know, and you might kind of have this feeling like I've known you my whole life, or I've known you for years, and I just met this person. Can I invest some time and energy into building my future relationships, my partner, or something like that? Like, can I do that, please? Is that okay? But of course, you know, don't just completely cut off everybody in your life and not talk to them or anything. But at the same time, yeah, again, I just keep hearing that fine balance, fine balance, fine balance. This is gonna require some work, right? This is gonna require some work because for some of you, because of some of these trauma and the stuff that you dealt with in the past, it's really slowed you down in, maybe it's gave you commitment issues, or it's give you like, issues where you escape into toxic relationships or things. It's really going to bring up a lot of things that you're going to have to realize about yourself, and a lot of ways that you're going to have to mature around the way you see relationships and how you act in relationships, how you carry yourself in relationships, and how you act in the sense of running to your friends or your family to talk shit about your partners or talk shit about that, or running to their friends and the family instead of just talking to your partner, right? Instead of just taking it to your friends or to your family, or to get, well, let me get your advice, well, what would you do? Instead of doing that, sit in yourself, take some time, be like, okay, I'll talk to you into the morning, or what, like, I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to think about it, and give yourself the time to think and to resonate and to clear your mind and to count it down and to run it off or swim it off, or, make some art or do something to kind of get those initial feelings out, and then be able to come back and express your wants and your needs. And maybe even, right, with this you were taught to comply energy, with that past reading that I was doing, you could have been taught some very toxic ways of being in relationships. You could have been taught to have this very kind of, well, you should just know what I want without asking for it. That's a toxicity that I've seen in a lot of relationships, that I think that I'm just like, what? Like, open up your mouth and say what you need. Open up your mouth and say what you need. Like, even if you and this person even if you have esoteric knowledge, even if you do feel like this person is your twin flame or soulmate, you can read each other's minds. It's, you know what I'm saying? Besides all of that, sometimes you just, like, your partner, like, you might think, you should just know. You should know I need this. You should know I need that. You know me well enough to just know. Don't assume. Don't assume that, right? Because that's a toxicity that you were taught about relationships, right? Open up your mouth and say, hey, I need this. Or, hey, you said that and it made me feel this way. Do you realize when you act like this, I feel like that, right? And what might seem like to you, which might seem very obvious, might not be obvious to your partner, because they might have been taught something completely different. They might have completely different or opposite, sometimes you're going to have some toxicities that show up, or some not so nice mental thought processes that show up, and your partner's going to be like, no, I don't think like that, because that's a toxic way to think about it. Like, why are you making assumptions about me? And then sometimes your partner might have been taught a toxic way to, to not show love, or to not show some kind of affection or attention, and to think, well, can't you see my love and my attention in me going to work? But I never tell you I love you, or, stuff like that, where it's important for you to have those conversations with your partner about your love languages, about the things that you really need to see and that you really need out of relationships. I do have a love language video, if that's something that you're interested in, so that you can go check that out. If that's something that you're interested in looking at as well. Actually, I thought I should do an updated version of that. So the Ace of Swords, it's a truth, a finality, an action that's finally coming forward. The truth about a situation. Somebody possibly speaking truth onto a situation about something that's been hidden, something that's been in the shadow. Yeah, a person coming forward. Yeah. Ooh. Sorry about my dogs. My neighbors have guests outside, so my dogs are just like tearing it up in the background. Yeah. Wow, the Empress. I'm telling you. Wow. Yeah, this is going to be a very transformative energy here coming into your life. This partner, this suitor, this new person coming into your life. This feels less like a specific person and feels more like lessons in love coming into your life, right? Lessons on how you interact with your partner, how your person was taught to interact with their loved ones and their love interest, how both of you were taught to interact with your families, about things and about incorporating new lovers into your energy in general. I'm getting that for some of you, your partners, for some of you, your partners have been taught, that they need that their partner, that it's like no, my toxic mom or my toxic dad has to approve of the person that I'm in a relationship with. And they might feel different. I feel like they've been healing that, and they feel really differently about you. For some of this is going to be your partner having to stand up to friends or family that might have issues, or that they might have shared things with. So I feel like for a lot of you, you and this new partner, this new person, this new love interest coming into your life, are both going to have to both work on that. And you're going to have to to learn how to grow and to foster this, because this will be right. It's really up to you and the way that you choose to handle the shadow work that comes up in this relationship. But this could be such a beautiful and prosperous and just like, oh. And even if this isn't somebody that you end up getting married to, or somebody that you end up being like your forever person, because I do feel like you'll be in a significantly long relationship with this person, with this new person coming in. And for some of you, I feel like this could be your partner, that you end up getting married to. Or for some of you, this is just going to be a person that you learn, that you love, and that you enjoy, and that you foster a lot of really healthy habits to take forward into future, like lifelong relationships, or partners, spouses, things like that. But it's really about how you develop and you grow from this, right? And also your partner's choices about developing and growth, and but at the end of the day, you're responsible for how much you develop and you thrive and you grow from this. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of lessons here around around how you were taught to love. um and how, as you're healing that and changing that, there are going to be people in your family that have not healed and changed that, right? Because you're the one breaking that generational toxic mindset. So that's going to come into opposition or juxtaposition with some people in your life, and how you're going to have to learn to have those boundaries, to stand up for those things, and to stand up for that energy inside of yourself, and then to place that energy, and then to not have that same energy that's being activated in you also be activated. Because of course it can be really easy to go back to these people that fed you, that gave you, that taught you these generational toxic mindsets towards relationships, and get caught in an echo chamber of, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Because they were the ones that taught you to have that toxic belief about relationships, right? So be aware of that as well. Right? Be aware of getting stuck in that toxic echo chamber of people being like, yeah, you're totally right to be, yeah, you're totally right to go through their phone. Yeah, you're totally right to be, I would be too. I would be too. And you might not be having that kind of like actual like healthy outside source tell you, no, that's not okay. No, you shouldn't be doing that. No, you should question, if you're having a really hard time having these trust issues, one, try to heal that inside you. But if it's really something this other person is doing, then maybe you should, work on the, it's like, it's gonna be, I don't want to say a challenge, because you are going to have people around you. You're going to have friends and some other people and some family members that would really give you this, that don't suffer from the same advice that you're trying to overcome. Excuse me. But I feel like there are the loudest people that are going to really want to have something to say, have that unsolicited or solicited advice. So be aware of of how the fact that you might run subconsciously, you might run to the people that are going to give you the advice that you want, right? That you're going to run to those people that are going to give you that, I knew my ego was right. I knew that my fears were justified. Be careful with that as well, right? Yeah, because spirit is asking you to let a lot of this old energy die, to let a lot of this old energy go, so that you can flourish and prosper, whether or not it be in the long term with this person, or you just learn the lessons from this, and that really helps grow future relationships for you. Either way, it's going to be beautiful though. Okay, let's get some outcome energy. Yeah, Queen of Cups. Oh yeah, you're, you're really going to be working on your heart chakra, and you're really going to be working on standing in yourself, standing in your own energy, standing in your own heart space, and then also working on, again, not giving into these generational toxic mindsets of complying, right? Of accepting breadcrumbing or gaslighting or any of that stuff. And I'm not saying that it's going to be your partner doing those things to you. In fact, I think it could be quite the opposite. It could be that you could be kind of triggering, and you could be seeing things that kind of aren't really there, or misinterpreting situations, seeing them through your shadows, seeing them through your triggers, instead of taking the time to stop, talk it out, ask about it, and really see the truth of the situation. Because that's the gift that Spirit is giving you, is truth. That's the blessing that this relationship is bringing to your life, is seeing the truth within you, within your own fears, within your own anxieties and your own paranoias, and also the truth of some of the toxic things that you were taught to believe about relationships. That's the gift. It's truth. And honey, can it be a double-edged sword? Is it a double-edged sword? Oh yes. Oh yes. Slicing through things and revealing the truth doesn't always make it easier. It just makes it the truth. But in the end, Spirit is saying it is going to make you stronger. It is going to help you find this strength inside of yourself to say, I don't have to see things the way that my family thinks I should see things. I don't have to see things the way that my past wounded inner child tells me I should see things. I don't have to see things through this beautiful lens where I don't pay attention to the red flags. I can have proper boundaries up against myself, against that person, and against people from my past or my family. I can find this inside of myself, and find that strength energy inside of myself, and find that grounded energy inside of myself, right? Yeah, I think that overall, though, this is going to be beautiful with this Three of Cups here. Overall, this is going to be gorgeous energy that you are going to be feeling very emotionally satisfied for the majority of this. You really are. Yeah. And what fell on the floor over here, this nine of cups with this 10 of wands, not 10 of wands, sorry, 10 of swords, where it's like this self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what I'm getting, this self-fulfilling prophecy of self-sabotage. That's a big thing here, right? Sabotaging yourself out of good relationships, sabotaging yourself by aligning with things that were past, that you were taught to comply with, all of the red flags that you were taught to ignore, and your own red flags that you were taught to ignore, and this own kind of self-fulfilling prophecy here of, like I said earlier, right? Real love like this isn't real. I didn't find it, so you won't find it either. No, nobody's really saying that out loud, but it's the subconscious view, because it would make this person feel better if you didn't find it as well, because they'd be like, well, damn, I could have put in the work and I could have found it, and it highlights their own self-sabotage within them, right? But it's important, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's why you're here doing this light work, overcoming these generational toxic mindsets. And as you do that, it is going to shine a painful light on things that other people have refused to heal, because you are healing it. You're not running away from it. You are healing it. You are working through it. And it's going to shine that painful bright light on the work that other people are not doing. Whew. This is a lot about overcoming things from your childhood, or overcoming these. Yeah. And it could be something as simple as being okay and learning to just, well, as long as your husband is getting up and going to work, it doesn't matter if you feel overwhelmed, or you're the only person doing work around the house and they're always gone. It's okay. That's just sweet. For some of you, it's going to be simple stuff, like, it's not always going to be fine with your partner treating you like a toxic person. Like, no, for some of you, it is really going to be opening up this new path of, like, it doesn't have to be like this. And for a lot of you, whether or not you will teach this to other people, or you'll teach it to you, as in You'll teach it to your friends and your family around by living it. Some of you could even pass it along through storytelling or book or stuff like this, later on in your life purpose, right? Or if you're just passing it on, just even if, through your children, through your future generations, things don't have to be like this. They don't have to be like this. You don't have to keep choosing karmic partners. You don't have to keep subscribing to this own self-saboteur behavior. You can break out of it. It can stop with me. It can stop with me. It doesn't have, there is a new, brighter future. We can lay this to rest. We don't have to keep ourselves trapped. We can lay this to rest. We can heal. We can find this stability within ourselves. We can find this reliability within ourselves. It doesn't have to be this, you know? And I'm not going to lie, there is going to be some jealousy here. There is going to be some misalignment here with people, friends, and family. Yeah. Look, and for some of you, you've been wondering why certain friends or family members or things like that, you've been becoming more distant with those people. It's because these people align with this past energy here, and you are realigning with something different. Like I said earlier, yeah, and it might be triggering these feelings of abandonment or triggering some of these parent wounds or these past issues with past lovers inside of you. That's all part of this crap you got to heal too, because it's all part of this crap, because it's like this self-justification, like, oh, I'm gonna get abandoned, and so I need to run away, or so I need to, you know I'm so used to what past toxic partners. I'm so used to complying with the red flags and dealing with that and questioning myself and pulling myself into these karmic relationships with people who question my worth, and getting into this energy right here because it's what I taught, it's what I saw, it's what I was normalized to believe was okay, and it's, yeah, people get stuck in this karmic cycle here of that generation after generation after generation of being normalized or numb to it, or thinking it's okay, like this is normal. It's not. It might be usual, but that doesn't mean that it has to be your normal. It doesn't mean it has to be the reality that you really have to live in. And this is going to be some tower moments for you and a lot of people in your life. Are those the two cards that you wanted, Spirit? Okay, Spirit said yes. Yeah. Ooh wee. I'm glad I did that though, because nine of wands, karmic lessons. This is all about karmic generational lessons right here. It's about the work. This is the work. This is the work. This is the work. This is about you choosing to give something out for yourself, choosing to have a better discipline and something different for yourself, and the universe giving you and matching that back. Saying, my mindset does not have to be this anymore. I'll throw it away, throw it in the trash. I'll learn these lessons. The Spirit said, oh, okay. So I'm going to gift you, so that you can walk away from all the BS that doesn't serve you anymore, right? You can walk. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Six of Swords and the Eight of Cups on both sides of this darkness, of this confusion, of these emotions that in the past people just have not faced. This lie, this illusion, this BS, this karma, this confusion. Just walking away, letting go of the investments, going towards manifesting something better for yourself, right? Manifesting a change, manifesting new energy coming in. Hello? There's that energy. Manifesting new types of partnerships because you are walking away from this BS energy right here. You are finding the strength inside of yourself to heal this. You're following and making those promises to yourself. I'm not going to pass this on. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not going to end up in a relationship like people in my family have in the past. I'm not doing this. And for a lot of you, you felt that for a very long time, even when you were a young child. I feel like you felt a lot of energy of this is not right. It shouldn't be like this, It shouldn't be like this. It should be different. It probably gave you a lot of self-judgment and self-judgment and anger energy and grief energy that you've been slowly processing throughout your life, right? And you're really getting to the point now where you're starting to heal it enough to where spirit's like, okay, right? You've done enough of the healing by yourself that it's really time for you to do this healing in relationship. And I said that earlier, right? It's like it's okay to walk the walk and talk the talk when you're single, right? To be like, next time I'm in a relationship, I'm not gonna deal with this, and next time I'm in a relationship, I'm not gonna deal with that, and next time I'm gonna pay attention to these red flags. And spirit is going to bring these people into your life that are, I don't want you to see them as tests. I just want you to see them as an opportunity to show yourself you have grown, you have learned, you are seeing, you are overcoming, right? Yeah. Because seeing them as tests can really wear you down. It can wear your energy out. You're like, I've been fighting all my life. I had to fight, right? Like all my life. I've been fighting this already. Do I have to keep see it? It's gonna help to kind of change that mindset on it, okay? But I'm just telling you, there's so much energy here. Like your soul has decided. It's like, I'm done. I'm walking away. I'm not dealing with this energy anymore, with this moon energy, with this shadow energy. I'm not dealing with this anymore, right? And the fact of the matter is that you saying I'm not dealing with this anymore is in fact you saying I am going to look at this, instead of saying, it's like I am walking away from this by facing it. I am walking away from this by acknowledging it. I am walking away from this by not turning my back, but actually turning my face to look at it, to examine it, to dive into it, to ask myself why, to see the answers why, to allow yourself to finally accept it and to see it so you can purge it, right? What is it they say? You have to feel it to heal it, right? That kind of energy. Because that's been the problem for a lot of people in your past. That's why it's been passed down to you, because there's a lot of people in your past that just did not want to feel it. They did not want to feel it. They did not want to heal it. They might have wanted to heal it, but they did not want to have to feel it, to stand in it, to look at it, to examine it, to see it within themselves. It takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of energy to do that. That's why you're here. Whew! I'm transmitting so much energy right now. That's why you're here. So thank you. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for the enlightenment that you're doing. Thank you. I'm so fucking proud of you. I am so proud of you for working this hard to make this world and your family and your future generations able to live, and even if it's just this much, in a better place. Because believe me, not passing down this right here is not this much. It's everything, right? That's why we're here. It's literally the point of life. That's why we're here. Is so that we can learn these lessons and we can make life for the next generation a little bit easier, so they don't have to deal with the trauma and with the BS we had to deal with. To stop pretending and acting like it's all okay, and to just say it's not okay. And to sit in that and to say, okay, now we can heal it. Right? The first step to fixing a problem is admitting that there is a problem. Right? And I've seen this a lot in the generations, especially, with older generations reaction. They want to call younger generations snowflakes. They want to call them you're so entitled and you want your way all the time and you think everybody should care about your feelings. It's all a part of this collective consciousness shifting of being like, yeah, we should care about each other's feelings more. Yeah, we should care about that more. Yeah, we should care if we're passing on generational trauma. We should care if we're teaching our kids to fear love or to hate. We should care about that. And I witness it too much in older generations here. Not to just place all the blame on them because it was something they were taught themselves, but to be like, I've heard it so much. Well, I was fine with it. Were you? Were you? Because if you were fine, if you were okay, the generations after you, wouldn't be dealing with this bullshit. We wouldn't be dealing with the trauma that you didn't want to face. by you lying to yourself and saying, I was okay with it. If it was good enough for me, why can't you deal with it? I got my ass whipped. You can deal with it too. That kind of energy, right? Where it's like, obviously it's not okay. Obviously it's not okay because you raised a whole generation of people who are like, I was hurt and it's not right. Right? Hello. Here's your motherfucking sign. Okay? But again, we're asked to be taught compassion and empathy, right? To understand that they were taught that it was a defense mechanism for themselves. Harden your exterior so that the people that in front of you that don't care about what you're going through doesn't hurt so bad. Like, oh, that's just how I'm supposed to be. I'm just not supposed to care, right? And it's our generation that's being born into this new, that's coming of age and coming up in this age of Aquarius that are having our tops blown off. And we're like, no, it's not okay. No, we're still dealing with generational trauma from war, from famine, from just everything, from everything that's been being passed down, and every, we all, there's an age that goes through it, that changes, that rebukes the past, and, and understands that where they were coming from, but also says, I'm not going to let the past stop me and hold me back. I'm hearing such a high pitch in my ear. Archangels in the house, okay? Pushing through. And yeah, Spirit saying it's actually not pushing through. It's allowing yourself not to just keep pushing through, to actually say, no, it's okay if I break this down and say, no, it's not okay. And that can be very intimidating to people that have for years, for decades, put up this, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, because that's their defense mechanism. And when you tell them, it's not okay for me, they go, well, but I've been lying to myself and telling myself it was okay. You need to believe that. You need to pass that on, because that mirrors back to me that it is okay. And if it's not okay with you, that means it wasn't okay with me. And I've been lying to myself this whole time. And it's that energy, right? But they don't want to say that. But that's kind of the overall energy of what this is. So don't worry, this is being mirrored not only in the this not only in your relationships, it's being mirrored in a lot of relationships right now, because we're being asked to raise the collective consciousness so we can be more heart open, so that we can have more positive, feminine, love, and light and honesty energy in here. Not that masculine energy is inherently dark or anything like that, but so that we can have more of these happy unions, so that we can have more of these soulmate unions. So there's not so much toxic generational karma being passed down over and over and over again by compromising ourselves. We are being asked to give our children, to give the future generations of Earth, of humans, a better future, regardless of how uncomfortable it makes people from the past feel. This always comes up. All these new generations, they think they're just, yes. It's called change. It's called improvement. It's called learning from your fucking mistakes. Yes. Yes, we do feel like we are endowed with these with these rights. We do feel this way. You can quote the Constitution for more than just your right to hold something on your hip, okay? We hold these truths to be self-evident, okay? Hello. You want to actually get into it? Get into that. Okay? Get into that. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of motherfucking happiness. Okay? And that's not just about how much money I can gain, or what businesses I can own, or what rights to hold certain weapons of mass destruction that I have. It's also about my emotional right to pass on a better freaking mindset to the next, because that's where it is, right? That's where the future is. It's not in these material things. It's in thought. It's in thought. And that's what we children of the age of Aquarius are here. Right? Children of the age of Aquarius, right? That's what we're here. That's why we're here. Don't forget that, right? Don't forget that. This is bigger than you. It's bigger than them, but at the same time, it's not, right? It is those differences in those family. It is those one relationship getting better at a time that will make a difference. It will make a difference. But also having a little more patience for people in the past, right? That will also make a difference too. Forgiveness, letting go, that will also make a big difference too. Not only in your personal relationships, but as a collective consciousness. You know, it's what spirit is asking us to do, right? And for all the love and for all the light and for all the blessings, that's why we're here, right? Okay, you guys. That ran way longer and it got way deeper, especially at the end, way deeper and way longer than I thought that it was going to get. I thought this was just going to be about you defending your relationship against snarky people, but you know, it usually is. I say that, but it usually is. We usually do get way deeper on this than I thought. I'm like, oh, we're just talking about a toxic person or a toxic friend that you need to kick to the side, and then it becomes like this whole spiritual journey, your life purpose, whole like, oh hey, did you know that this thing that you're dealing with that feels like this is actually a part of a huge, a part of a huge divine plan to make it all a little bit better for everybody here. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for your time, for your energy. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for all your kind words and all your encouragement. Thank you for your support here on the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so very much. Okay. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep posting. So I really appreciate you guys. If you like the content, give it a like. If you feel like this could help somebody else, please share it. If you feel guided to, please check out the links in the description box down below. Okay. As well as I do give personal readings. So if you're interested in that, my contact information is down below as well. Thank you guys so very much. And I will see you lovelies in the next one. Bye.